personal financial journey and the markets around us. That's Dollars and Cents, Thursday afternoons at 4, here on WSIC.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Hello, all, and welcome to the L Show, where the L in the L Show stands for leaning in, which means we will not shy away from any subject, no matter how taboo or uncomfortable it may be. Subjects like menopause, sex and libido, menopause, dry vagina, hot flashes, mental health and depression, which makes you not want to have sex, how we look, and also how we feel. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, and am the owner of Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary here in Cornelius. We are a compounding pharmacy with a focus on functional medicine and a much more natural approach to your health. And for those who are not familiar with what compounding is where your pharmacist makes medications that are formulated in a specific dose and or in a specific dosage form that is unique to you. And not all compounds or compounding facilities are alike, and quality shows in every aspect of what we do. You can find out more about us by checking us out at our website at roserxboutique.com or on Instagram and Facebook at Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary. And the information presented on this show does not take the place of advice from your healthcare provider and may not be suitable for all audiences. Happy Friday, or happy Friday to all of our viewers and listeners. I hope you all are getting ready for the holiday weekend and are having things planned. Hope lots of food and drink and fun and fellowship. Okay. I know you guys are like, okay, here we go again with weight loss. But again, my ears are to the ground and I do this all day. I hear about it every day. And I'm also looking for trends. And I ran across a trend that I think warrants a conversation with you guys. It's actually a new weight loss trend, and one that's kind of dangerous. It is dangerous. It's gaining popularity. It's on TikTok. It's on Instagram. I couldn't believe it. It is trying to lose weight using nicotine pouches. Okay? So nicotine pouches, it's smokeless tobacco that is placed between the lips and the gums, but they only contain nicotine. And it's appealing, understandably, right? Because it is discreet, it's cheaper than other options, and there's all kinds of flavors, and people think they're safe because they don't contain tobacco. Well, one thing about this is because they don't contain tobacco, there is no regulation by the FDA. So these pouches can have all types of different harmful chemicals, things like metals, formaldehyde, for instance. Who wants to be chewing on formaldehyde, right? So also something called TSNAs, and TSNAs are tobacco-specific nitrosamines. Okay. And there was a study done in 2022, I believe, that looked at about 49 different nicotine pouch brands. And of the 49, 29 of them contained those TSNAs, which is a chemical that may cause cancer. So now that being said, while that chemical may cause cancer, what we do know is that while nicotine may help reduce appetite, there are very dangerous things associated with its use. It does, first of all, negatively impact your oral health. You're putting it between your lips and your gum. So people will experience gum recession, gum disease, and bone loss. Also, some of the short-term side effects of using these pouches are nausea, headaches, dizziness, throat irritation, GI discomfort, and there are long-term risks that can be much, much, much more serious. And remember, with nicotine, people have been using nicotine for years, right? But what we know is that you can experience an increase in heart rate, blood pressure, which could be very, very risky to those who have any underlying cardiovascular conditions. And it also is associated with an increased risk of stroke. And what I should have said first, which everybody probably already knows, this is that it is highly addictive. And this is evidenced by the fact that we dispense medications every day, all day, to help people stop smoking, right? So you could also have withdrawals when you stop. So this is something that you start, you're going to have to continue doing it if you're trying to use it for weight loss. It could lead to things like cognitive impairment and developing brains, anxiety, the list goes on. And this trend is not only getting more popular with adults, but it is specifically popular for teens. And so when I think about teens on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and they're seeing this trend, their brains are still developing. And so it is one of those things that we just want to be very, very mindful of as parents of teens when we are in this culture of fat shaming and all that stuff that goes on, and people are looking for ways to lose weight, and your teen could be one of those people who wants to lose weight, and this is something that's easy, it's super cheap, and they can get to it. So education, 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 education. With the adults, on the other hand, there are many other ways to lose weight that are much more healthy, much less dangerous than using nicotine. So, in my professional opinion, that juice just isn't worth that squeeze. So, that is hot off the press. I just saw this yesterday and I said, this does warrant just a warning that I think people should just be aware of and to steer clear of if you are considering it. Yes, thank you, Bill. Love it. So if you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And if you are taking too many medications, too many supplements, or both, make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. And question, if someone asks you, how's your gut doing? What would be your answer? Are you suffering from inflammation? Are you suffering from chronic bowel issues, bloating, feeling sluggish, etc., etc.? Remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut. The effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is actually performing. So make sure that you can take advantage of one of Rose Pharmacy's gut bundles that we can tailor specifically to your needs, because our goal is to help you get and stay on track with a much better quality of life. And with Rose, there is a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle of the supportive supplements that we offer, and very few companies can say that. Mention that you heard about Fixing Your Gut on the Elle Show or on WSIC News, and we are going to give you 10% off your purchase. And make sure today that you feel free to call into the studio with questions or comments at 844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464. And today, speaking of guts, I have a treat for you all. A treat. Where's it? Cue something in the background, Bill. Just give me something. Yes, that works. Yeah, that works. Okay, yeah. Because we are going to be getting to the bottom, no puns intended, getting to the bottom of the gut thing with our guest, Jaymie Yates Wiedenfeld. She is the owner of Lake Norman Hydrotherapy. When we are back from our break, we're going to talk with her about all the things that we always talk about on the show, which is what good guts can help you with. And listen, I'm interested in this myself, Jaymie. I'm excited to have you on the show.
Well, thank you.
And when we are back from break, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Hey,
all right,
that sounds good. I'm ready.
Here's more of The Elle Show on the way with Dr. Nicole Eastman from Rose Pharmacy on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, for our Friday, as we kick off the Memorial Day weekend, hot and humid with scattered thunderstorms. It looks a lot like summer across Lake Norman. We'll warm into the upper 80s for the afternoon. Do keep an eye out for Friday evening plans for a few scattered thunderstorms. That's kind of how the rest of the weekend and into Memorial Day will go. Humidity is back. It'll be warm, toasty, upper 80s each afternoon. Not everybody gets a storm every day, but just be ready to be a little flexible with outdoor plans. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like iCats Public Transit.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Live in Mooresville offers up free music on Thursday, May 23rd with a performance by area favorite and Carolina's premier rock and roll cover band, Black Glass. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert powered by Waves Entertainment beginning at 7. Friday is Live Under the Oaks at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Justin Minton's solo music performance of rock, R&B, and soul begins at 6 p.m. Grab your chairs and head to the Birkdale stage on Friday night for free music by Justin Minton. The Charlotte Motor Speedway has high-speed NASCAR racing for Memorial Day weekend. On Friday, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series holds the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. The ARCA Series is also in action on Friday with the General Tire 150. On Saturday, the NASCAR Cup Series holds their qualifying session, and the Xfinity Series races in the Bet MGM 300. Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series competes in one of their crown jewels, the 65th running of the Coca-Cola 600. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for tickets and information. The Kane Center for the Arts welcomes Philip Hamrick on Friday, May 31st for his album release celebration. The singer-songwriter from Mooresville releases his first solo album as an independent artist with The Tunnel Club. Hamrick's personal stories are delivered through vocals and acoustics. Doors open at 7 p.m. with Hamrick's The Tunnel Club album release celebration at 8 p.m. on Friday, May 31st. For tickets, more information on this show and many other programs, visit CaneArts.org. That's C-A-I-N Arts.org. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Now more of the L Show with Dr. Nicole Eastman from Rose Pharmacy on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Hello all, and welcome back to the L Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman. If you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And if you are taking too many medications, too many supplements, or both, make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. And question, if someone asks you, how's your gut doing? What would be your answer? Are you suffering from inflammation, chronic bowel issues, bloating, feeling sluggish, etc., etc.? Remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and the effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. And if we can improve your gut, many of these issues that you think you can do nothing about on your own can respond favorably. So take advantage of one of Rose Pharmacy's gut bundles that we can tailor specifically to your needs, because our goal is to help you get and stay on track with a much better quality of life. And with Rose, there's a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle of the supportive supplements that we offer, and very few companies can say that. Mention that you heard about Fixing Your Gut on the L Show or WSSC News, and we're going to give you 10% off of your purchase. And please be sure to either call in with questions or comments to 1-844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464. We are back with my guest, Jaymie Yates Wiedenfeld, where we are getting to the bottom of this thing. Okay, so Jaymie, she is the owner of Lake Norman Colon and Hydrotherapy, and I'm excited to have her here because we love guts, and so I keep on saying it, Bill. I just can't help it. We're gonna get to the bottom of all of this. Okay, I have to say it. So Jaymie,
yes.
So first, tell us a little about your background and what led you to open your business, Lake Norman Colon and Hydrotherapy.
Okay, great. Well, basically, my mother, who I've taken care of for 30 years, many years ago, she came down with bowel obstruction. And so what happened was I took her for numerous colonics down in Miami, Florida. That's where I'm from. About 28 colonics, and she wasn't getting any better. And her symptoms were she had rashes, headaches, lower back aches. She really couldn't use the restroom anymore. And so I heard about a certain system called the Libby, who Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker, he suggests that system, and he has 5 at his retreat in Fiji. So I had to go to school and purchase it for my mom, and I worked on her for 3 months, and my mom got well. And so
Wow.
so this is how I got into it. I never knew I'd be doing this, okay? And but now she's 92. So
Well, who actually wakes up and says, you know what? I would love to get to the bottom
yeah, nobody.
of
Nobody.
it.
Hardly any of us, okay?
Well, that's a great story. So your mom trying to take care of her and being able to actually help her through that, get her better, led you to want to now help other people.
That's right.
That's amazing. So, um, tell the audience, what is colon hydrotherapy? What is it?
Colon hydrotherapy. This is just a brief description, which is you get onto a big fiberglass table, and then there is a very small rectal tube that's inserted into your rectum.
This is the tube.
That's
So
the
she's
tube.
there it is. There's the
And
tube.
everything is prepackaged, and it's
Mhm.
only inserted 2 inches, and of course,
Thank goodness.
it's lubricated. So basically, purified water goes into the tube, into your rectum. Your job is to fill up, fill up, fill up, and then you release this water. And this goes on for 45 to 55 minutes, depending on when the water starts to run clear. There is a big clear tube that runs behind the Libby. That's my system. And you can see everything that's happening if you choose to. So,
Wow.
but
Okay.
basically, it's pretty painless. You might get some stomach
You guys see Bill's,
cramps,
if you
but
guys could see Bill's face right now, it's priceless. Priceless. So I'm sorry to interrupt. You just got to see Bill's face.
I want to see Bill's face.
Turn around. He's right. Like you should have saw this.
Hey,
All right.
hey, Bill, I'm going to give you a free one, okay? Okay.
So the liquid, you wait until the liquid runs clear.
Well, what's going through the tube, when the
Okay.
tube starts running clear, usually a session lasts between 45 and 55 minutes. Because your body doesn't keep releasing, all of a sudden it just stops, and then people are ready to go, and generally they feel better as soon as they get off the system, and they feel lighter, and they can't believe it.
So let me ask you this question though. So when you're sitting there and you're on this table,
Fiberglass
this
table.
fiberglass table, are you upright? Are you laying down? Like if somebody's there, can I read a book? Like,
Yes.
is it like that, or is it like this active process where you have to be paying attention to what's going on?
Well, you do want to concentrate because you're the one who is like in control of the water going in and
Okay.
filling up, and you
Yeah.
have to push the water out. And I will say some people are on their phones, but you are laying down on your back on this big fiberglass table that has a built-in bowl, and your buttocks is kind of pushed against this incline. And of course, you're covered up during the entire session. It's a very private session, except for you're dealing with me. I take care of my clients, and I love my clients. So I'm there to run the water temperatures. They have to be between 95 and 103 during the entire session. You'll have much better releases. I bring them a heating pad. I am certified to massage the large intestines, but some people don't want that, so I show them how to do
Mhm.
it the proper way. And then basically, you're done, and you feel lighter, you feel happier, and usually you feel different, just from one
Mhm.
session. But one session will not clear out the entire 5.5 foot long colon, unfortunately. So
When you say massage the, you said massage
large
the large.
intestines.
How do you massage the large intestine? Is it just like
Well, you
palpitation on the out, like palpitation in your stomach? Like how is that? Like
Well, you would be laying down,
yeah.
and everyone's always covered up, and I
Mhm.
never touch the skin.
Mhm.
Okay, I feel like it's getting too personal, so I massage on top of the sheet.
Mhm.
Basically, your colon goes across
Mhm.
where your ribs are. Down the
Mhm.
left side is the descending colon. On the right side is the ascending colon. But what I do little circles, and I go all the way across the colon, and I really work on the left hand side because that's what we're working on, you know, to start with. It takes a long time to get up and clear out the entire colon. But you do it like a clock. If you do it the other way, you're pushing everything back, so you wouldn't do that. So you're going just like a clock hand would go. And some people, I have hand massagers, they'll do it themselves, and it works out well.
Okay, so when you and I talked before, you had mentioned a closed system versus an open system.
Right.
What's a closed system? The difference between a closed and an open system.
Okay, the closed system is where the therapist inserts the rectal tube, and it's a much larger tube. My tube is the size of a pencil. Their tube is at least 5 inches long, and it's much bigger. And that's because
Of a Sharpie.
yeah,
Okay.
no, it's bigger than a Sharpie.
Crayola marker.
No, it's
Bigger
more
than that?
like
Oh, goodness. Okay.
it's big.
Okay, got it.
We're
Okay.
talking big.
Okay.
Anyway, so they insert that sterilized tube,
Mhm.
and basically they have like a hose that's hooked into their machine, and their machine is usually on the wall.
Mhm.
So warm, purified water goes into the person, and they tell them to fill up, fill up, fill up. But then they have a switch, and when the person says okay, they turn a switch, and they try to suck the fecal matter, toxins, and poisons out of the large intestines. So that is the closed system. Everything goes back and forth in that tube. With my system, it's the open system, and it still is a class 2 medical device, and it's FDA approved. Anyways, but with my system, the clients, I instruct them how to get on the table, and with a surgical glove, they self-insert the tube, and they cover themselves up. And as you know, the tube is much smaller. So their whole job is to fill up, fill up, fill up with purified water. And when they get the urge to go to the bathroom, they have to push that water out. Okay. And everything goes around the tube. So your bottom gets wet. Then it goes down a certain bowl and hole into the big clear tube that goes out to my septic. But the difference is you're exercising the large intestines. See, most people's colons are asleep. So eventually their colons get stronger, they get reshaped and retoned, and eventually it will bring back your peristalsis action, which a lot of people don't have. And that's the movement of the large intestines. And everybody needs that.
Yeah. So again, I know this is not the most comfortable subject for people to hear about, but this is life. This really is, in my opinion, when we're talking about the importance of the gut, you're removing the toxins. You're
Yes.
removing all those things that are inflammatory, things that cause all of the issues that we've talked about on the show multiple times, like the skin issues that we have, all of that, like the skin, the brain fog, the allergies, all of those things that people tend to have. It's typically associated with the gut.
That's right.
So, what you're doing is amazing, and we're going to continue to talk about that when we are back from our break. So if you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And if you're taking too many medications, too many supplements, or both, make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services, where we can help you safely solve that issue. And if someone asks you how your gut's doing, what's going to be the answer? Suffering from inflammation, chronic bowel issues, feeling sluggish. Everything starts and ends with a healthy gut. So make sure that you guys take advantage of one of Rose Pharmacy's gut bundles that we can tailor specifically to your needs, because our goal is to help you get and stay on track. And today we are talking about other options as well with Jaymie Yates Wiedenfeld. We're going to see you guys on the other side of the break.
More of the L Show with Dr. Nicole Eastman from Rose Pharmacy straight ahead on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, for our Friday, as we kick off the Memorial Day weekend, hot and humid with scattered thunderstorms. It looks a lot like summer across Lake Norman. We'll warm into the upper 80s for the afternoon. Do keep an eye out for Friday evening plans for a few scattered thunderstorms. That's kind of how the rest of the weekend and into Memorial Day will go. Humidity is back. It'll be warm, toasty, upper 80s each afternoon. Not everybody gets a storm every day, but just be ready to be a little flexible with outdoor plans. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had leaf filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is looking for HVAC rock stars. If you want to work for a company that values its employees with great pay and benefits, then give Horn Heating and Air Conditioning a try. Horn Heating and Air Conditioning. HornHVAC.com.
Summer's here, and so are the deals at Target's Hello Summer Sale.
Let's go.
Get ready for perfect patio days with up to 30% off outdoor furniture, rugs, and decor. Banana splits for dinner? Yes, please.
I love it.
Select favorite day ice cream, toppings, and treats are 20% off. And road trip ready summer style is easy to pack with 30% off select swimsuits, tees, and sandals for the whole family. Target's Hello Summer Sale ends Monday. Restrictions apply.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The fast food wars are on. After McDonald's announced a $5 meal deal coming this summer, Burger King is out with its own $5 meals. With a choice of one of 3 sandwiches, nuggets, fries, and a drink, and Burger King will offer it before McDonald's does at the end of June. Some of the world's biggest banks, Citigroup, Barclays, HSBC, now ordering staffers to get back to the office 5 days a week. That's after some new U.S. regulatory changes makes it a little bit tougher to work remotely. On Wall Street, stocks are higher on this Friday. That's ahead of the long Memorial Day weekend, getting a little help from a rise in orders for long-lasting durable goods in April, higher for a third month in a row. The Dow up a small fraction, but the NASDAQ is 1% higher, the S&P up 2/3 of 1%. And you knew it was going to be a big travel weekend, and already the TSA says yesterday, Thursday, was the second busiest day in history at the nation's airports. 2.8 million travelers getting checked in. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
You're listening to Dr. Nicole Eastman. It's the L Show on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to the L Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman. If you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And if you are taking too many medications, too many supplements, or both, make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. And question, if someone asks you, how's your gut doing? What would be your answer? Are you suffering from inflammation, chronic bowel issues, bloating, feeling sluggish, etc., etc.? Remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and the effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. And if we can improve your gut, many of the issues that you think you can do nothing about on your own can respond favorably. So take advantage of one of Rose Pharmacy's gut bundles that we can tailor specifically to your needs, because our goal is to help you get and stay on track with a much better quality of life. And with Rose, there's a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle of the supportive supplements that we offer, and very few companies can say that. Mention that you heard about Fixing Your Gut on the L Show or WSSC News, and we are going to give you 10% off your purchase. And remember that today you can call into the studio at 844-STUDIO-4, or you can interact with us on social media with your comments and questions. And today would be a great day if people have questions for our guests, because we are getting to the bottom of things with Jaymie Yates Wiedenfeld, who is the owner of Lake Norman Colon and Hydrotherapy, excuse me. So when we left off before the break, we were talking about closed systems, open systems, that sort of thing, right? So now what I want you to go into is like, what are your clients telling you about their experience, about their results that they're getting from it?
Okay, well, I have a lot of clients, but in general, most of them tell me about their headaches have gone away, their bloating has gone away, lower back aches, uh, insomnia, dry skin is a big one. Everybody, their skin is so dry, they're so dehydrated, and really, when their colons are full, that is affecting their skin. Skin abruptions. So there's many symptoms that it relieves, and so many people they just get a lot better, and that's what I hear from them.
So Jaymie, also you were mentioning, you give your clients electrolytes because you are removing when you're removing all of this from them, they're losing some of the electrolytes. So you replace that,
Yes.
right? And then you also suggest my favorite, the probiotic.
Yes.
I cannot tell you every client that I have, that is one thing that I require that they be on. It is a probiotic because you do need that beneficial bacteria. And although this is such a great process, what you're doing, you're removing it, right? So we got to put things back and get things back
That's
in,
right. And
right?
they should be taking the probiotic every day.
Exactly.
For the rest of their lives.
For the rest of their lives.
That's right.
Agreed. So, all right. Here is another question that I have. Do people come to you curious about what it is without having their minds made up? Like, do you have to convince people, or do you have people saying, listen, I'm coming to you because I really want it done? Like, what do you have, both, or?
Well, to tell you the truth, I feel that I have 90% of my clients, when they finally get to me, when they finally reach me after years of misery, they are dying to get on my system, and they want to know all about it. And most of them do their sessions the way that is instructed. Then and as you know, they get better, and they're happy. So anyways, but the ones that are very leery, that they might go through one or two sessions, and then they say this isn't for me, and they're just scared to death people. And a lot of these men, they're scared of that nozzle for some reason. Uh, so they're a little leery, but I think that's a guy thing. But anyways, I have many clients. I have male and female, but it goes either way. But most of the people want to jump on my system. They are tired of not going to the bathroom.
Well, so the way that and I'll share this with the audience, the way that I heard about you was through a client who was like, oh my gosh, there is this person here like Norman that, does colonics, and, I've heard so many good things about it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I think because I'm a gut lady, right? I love gut. So of course, I'm like, this makes perfect sense to me. Because again, what are we trying to do? We're trying to get people healthy. And when you're holding on to all of that stuff,
yes,
how are you ever going to benefit from anything that you're trying to do?
No.
That's always the question. How are you going to benefit if you're working with bad equipment?
Yes, I agree with you 1,000%. And once you clear out the large intestines, because all the different systems in the body are connected to the colon, once you clear out the colon, then all the other systems start to work together and start working better. So overall, it just helps all of your health, your whole entire body.
How many sessions typically do people do? Like, do you have a series of sessions? Like, okay, so it typically takes this long to clear out the entire colon, or so kind of walk me through that. 'Cause
Okay.
somebody's saying, hey, I want to do it, but how many sessions do I need?
Right. Well, there's the first big cleanse, and many medical doctors will agree with this. So basically, they come there's 12 that is recommended, and the first week they come on a Monday and they come on a Tuesday. The reason being is there is more fecal matter, toxins, and poisons to come out the second day. And sometimes you'll see parasites the second day. So then the next week.
Wait a minute. What? Say that one more time. You said you'll see parasites?
The second day. That's when I usually see them at the beginning of the session. I'm not allowed to diagnose, though, because I'm only a colon hydrotherapist and I'm not a doctor. But a lot of people will look in the tube and say, hey, what's that? And then I say to them, what do you think it is? And they kind of know. I'm not diagnosing anyone. So anyway, so it's 2 the first week, 2 the second week, and 1 a week for 8 weeks. And towards the 12th session, usually the people who come to me who are only going to the bathroom once a week for a long, long time, usually they're going at least once a day after 12 sessions.
Wow. So as people are sitting there, so second session, people are sitting there and they can see, things coming out. And this is something else that my client had mentioned. So you said it as well. So you see like things moving around.
I see them every week, yes.
And you wonder, how in the world does that happen? Well, I can say that I know, that the things that we eat, the undercooked pork, so all of these things that people just eat, there are things that can really take up residence in your gut. And many of the things typically because you have some sort of symptoms, but there are times where you may not have symptoms as you would expect. And so it's just there, right? But
yeah, but sometimes you have the symptoms of just, when you have parasites, you stay severely constipated, bloated and gassy, and you're very fatigued because they are stealing all your nutrients. They're living in your large intestines. And so, if you find out you have parasites, there's plenty of all natural parasite cleanses that you could take. And sometimes you have to repeat them to make sure you kill the eggs. So it's kind of a process. It's not just taking, one.
Wow. Okay. So are the sessions the same length of time each time you do it? Or does it get shorter? Because I would expect the first session to be the longest and then the subsequents to be shorter.
Eventually, they're shorter. To start with, most people are on my system for about 55 minutes. And they lose weight because the waist weighs weight. That's what I've been told. Anyways, from about 1 to 3 pounds per session. But eventually, some people, they're on the system for 40 minutes. I'm on the system for 35 minutes, but I've done many, many, many colonics over the last 19 years. So.
Wow. Okay. So we're going to continue on this when we come back from break. If you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And if you are taking too many medications, too many supplements, or both, make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. And question, if someone asks you, how is your gut doing? What would be your answer? Are you suffering from inflammation, chronic bowel issues, bloating, feeling sluggish, etc., etc.? Remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and the effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. And if we can improve your gut, many of these issues that you think you can do nothing about on your own can respond favorably. So take advantage of one of Rose Pharmacy's gut bundles that we can tailor specifically to your needs, because our goal is to help you get and stay on track with a much better quality of life. And with Rose, there's a guarantee of what is in each bottle of supplements that we offer. And very few companies can offer you that. Mention that you heard about the Fixing Your Gut on the L Show or WSSC News, and we're going to give you 10% off of your purchase. Love to hear from you today. Call into the studio, and we'll see you on the other side of the break with Jaymie Wiedenfeld Yates.
Thank you.
We'll continue with more of the L Show and host Dr. Nicole Eastman in just a moment on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, for our Friday, as we kick off the Memorial Day weekend, hot and humid with scattered thunderstorms. It looks a lot like summer across Lake Norman. We'll warm into the upper 80s for the afternoon. Do keep an eye out for Friday evening plans for a few scattered thunderstorms. That's kind of how the rest of the weekend and into Memorial Day will go. Humidity is back. It'll be warm, toasty, upper 80s each afternoon. Not everybody gets a storm every day, but just be ready to be a little flexible with outdoor plans. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Live in Mooresville offers up free music on Thursday, May 23rd with a performance by area favorite and Carolina's premier rock and roll cover band, Black Glass. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert powered by Waves Entertainment beginning at 7. Friday is Live Under the Oaks at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Justin Minton's solo music performance of rock, R&B, and soul begins at 6 p.m. Grab your chairs and head to the Birkdale stage on Friday night for free music by Justin Minton. The Charlotte Motor Speedway has high-speed NASCAR racing for Memorial Day weekend. On Friday, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series holds the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. The ARCA Series is also in action on Friday with the General Tire 150. On Saturday, the NASCAR Cup Series holds their qualifying session, and the Xfinity Series races in the Bet MGM 300. Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series competes in one of their crown jewels, the 65th running of the Coca-Cola 600. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for tickets and information. The Kane Center for the Arts welcomes Philip Hamrick on Friday, May 31st for his album release celebration. The singer-songwriter from Mooresville releases his first solo album as an independent artist with The Tunnel Club. Hamrick's personal stories are delivered through vocals and acoustics. Doors open at 7 p.m. with Hamrick's The Tunnel Club album release celebration at 8 p.m. on Friday, May 31st. For tickets, more information on this show and many other programs, visit CaneArts.org. That's C-A-I-N Arts.org. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
What if you could wake up pain-free so you can leave the stress behind and conquer your day? Serenity Now Massage Therapy. 2 locations in Mooresville and Cornelius. Or book your next massage at serenitynowmassageandwellness.com.
You're listening to Dr. Nicole Eastman. It's the L Show on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
We are back with the L Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman. If you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And if you are taking too many medications, too many supplements, or both, make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. And question, if someone asks you, how's your gut doing? What would be your answer? Are you suffering from inflammation, chronic bowel issues, bloating, feeling sluggish, etc., etc.? Remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and the effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. And if we can improve your gut, many of these issues that you think you can do nothing about on your own can respond favorably. So take advantage of one of Rose Pharmacy's gut bundles that we can tailor specifically to your needs, because our goal is to help you get and stay on track with a much better quality of life. And with Rose, there is a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle of the supportive supplements that we offer, and very few companies can say that. Mention that you heard about Fixing Your Gut on the L Show or WSSC News, and we're going to give you 10% off your purchase. Feel free to call into the studio. This is our last segment at 844-STUDIO-4, or you can also interact with us on social media. And we left off discussing getting down to the bottom of things. I'm going to keep on saying it, with Jaymie Yates Wiedenfeld. So, Jaymie, would you just kind of give us an idea of what makes your business unique from other places that do colonics?
Well, that's a good question. I asked my daughter, and she said, "Mom, it's because you're unique." And I was like, "Okay, okay." But basically, I do bend over backwards for my clients, and you know, I try to always work with their schedules, even though I have so many clients. I sterilize my office correctly. I mean, in between people, my office is always perfect, which I've seen some other offices that weren't. I use only medical grade materials. Even my vinyl tubing comes from Libby. I won't take a chance on ordering anything over the internet or going to Home Depot. So
Yeah.
I really just do my very best for every person that comes in, and that says something.
Yeah, so I had heard about colonics.
Mhm.
I had heard that, this is a great way to cleanse yourself. But of course, you're like, okay, you hear about it and you kind of just, okay, fine. But then as I got into functional medicine and you realize how important the gut is, this is something that and I was saying like over break, like although this isn't like the most comfortable subject to discuss, it does make sense if you're holding on to all of this stuff to be able to get it out and how much better you could probably feel
Yes.
if you go through it. But I also know the importance of the uniqueness. And so the person who is running the business is all the time going to be the one who drives the business. And you have how many clients?
Well, over 1,000.
So that's saying something.
And new people all the time, and they're trying to get in. You can get in with me as long as you pre-book. And just to let y'all know, I did purchase I only have one system now, but I purchased another system, and I really want to expand my office and open a detox spa in the year 2025. I'm just kind of seeing what goes on with our country.
With the economy. Yeah,
With
I
the
get
economy,
it. I get
yeah.
it. How long have you been in this industry? I don't think that we really discussed that.
Right now it's 18, but by August it's going to be 19 years I've been doing this.
And your training.
My training, well, see, all their prerequisites have changed now. But when I went to school, I have my advanced level, and you have to start with your foundation, intermediate, advanced, and that took me like 3 years to do because you have to keep studying and studying. But also, I was a cardiovascular technologist, so I already had my
Okay.
anatomy and physiology before I went into this. But now that's the protocol is different now, for people to become colon hydrotherapists. They've made it longer.
How much longer have they made it?
Well, they've changed the rules.
Okay.
And to tell you the truth, I just know that it changed last April, and that's the reason I sent my daughter to school because I wanted her to get in there quickly because the price was going to triple. So,
Yep, that is, paying for school.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
It can be
but
daunting. Well, tell us, and I think we talked about this a little bit. Well, you and I talked about it a little bit. Like diet and maintaining, gut health. What are some of the things that you talk to your clients about, like constipating foods, things like that? Could
Yes.
you kind of take me through that?
Yes, I will. Basically, I tell them to avoid cheese, white rice, pasta, and bread. Those are the most constipating
Wow.
foods
All
you
the
can.
things that like that to me, cheese, white rice, bread, and
Pasta.
pasta. Ah,
That's all of America, right? I know, but if you're going to get cleaned out, there is an investment to do this. You really need to change your diet because you wouldn't be that impacted if you were putting the right holistic organic foods into your body. I suggest to my clients that they get off of dairy and they start drinking like almond milk instead of cow's milk, and get off the ice cream, get off the junk, get off the processed foods. They should be eating pure proteins, vegetables, salads, um, sweet potatoes, avocados. Oh my gosh, avocados are huge. I eat an avocado every day. It's loaded with minerals. And so does my 92-year-old mom, who is still here. So everybody has to change their diets, and they have to get hydrated. No one drinks enough water, and they have to walk. Okay, they have to exercise. So that's what I tell my clients.
When it comes to results for clients, what does how does hydration how does hydration play into it? So people come to you. What if someone's dehydrated? Do you suggest that they hydrate before they come? Like,
Yes.
what's that process like?
I tell them to be totally hydrated before they come to me, not to eat for 2 hours before they come in. But if they're hydrated, that means the large intestines are hydrated. That means that the fecal matter toxins and poisons want to come out. If you're not hydrated, and let's say you had 2 sips of water, you come to me. Yes, the colon will absorb a lot of that water, but guess what? Nothing might not come out because you'll run a clear session because it's too hard to come out. I mean, the water softens the waste, and so you have to be hydrated. And then after their sessions, I tell them they need to be on a light diet consisting of vegetable soups, herbal teas, electrolytes, and soft fruits for at least 24 hours. Stay away from meat for 3 days. It's too hard to digest. So I also tell them that.
That makes total sense. That makes total sense because you go back, like, you just undoing what you've just done, basically.
Right.
So if people want to know more about you, more about your business, where can they find this information?
Yes, you can find me at www.lakenormancolonhydrotherapy.com. And my name is Jaymie.
Well, again, we have enjoyed having you, and we're going to have you back. And just listen, full transparency, I am absolutely going to be getting one of these, and I'm going to tell everyone how the experience was. Just letting everybody know. So we're definitely going to have Jaymie back on the show as well. So if you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And if you're taking too many medications, too many supplements, or both, make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. And if someone asks you, how's your gut doing? What would be your answer? Are you suffering from inflammation, chronic bowel issues, bloating, feeling sluggish, etc., etc.? Remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and the effectiveness of any therapy is linked to how well your gut is performing. And if we can improve your gut, many of these issues that you think you can do nothing about on your own can respond favorably. So take advantage of one of Rose Pharmacy's gut bundles that we can tailor specifically to your needs, because our goal is to help you get and stay on track with a much better quality of life. And with Rose, there is a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle of the supportive supplements that we offer, and very few companies can say that. Mention that you heard about Fixing Your Gut on the Elle Show or WSSC News, and we are going to give you 10% off of your purchase. I want to thank everyone who has tuned into this week's segment of the Elle Show, and a huge thank you to Jaymie Yates Wiedenfeld. And you told us that folks can find out more about you on your website. And how long typically when somebody books, like how far out do they need to book? Because I know for me, trying to get an appointment with you, it's like we're in May and we're talking about the end of June, I think it was. Like, is this so?
Yeah, but I do get cancellations. But usually a month to get in.
Wow, a month to get in. So listen, it sounds to me like clearly the demand is there and there is benefit, and I know that just logically there's benefit in doing this. And again, I'm excited about the possibility of doing it, and I'm going to share, like I said.
We're going to have fun.
Yes. Well, remember, guys, I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, pharmacist and owner of Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary here in Cornelius. And for those of you who missed any part of the show or previous shows, you can find them on WSSC News, or you can watch them on Facebook. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And remember to block off that 3 to 4 p.m. time slot every Friday for the Elle Show, because I want this to be our happy hour. We're wrapping up a very busy week together on an uplifting note. You guys have an absolutely wonderful holiday. Take care.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9, 100.7, WSIC.